Was there...
But sometimes things are just completely out of your control, like construction noises while doing an interview.
Let's take the guesswork out of it. So, holding for sound.
We're good, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Great. Quiet on set.
Queen Elizabeth's son, who is 8th in line to the throne, was specifically asked about his 2010 visit to Epstein's Manhattan mansion after the financier pleaded guilty to soliciting minors for...
Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted...
Meghan Markle opens up for the very first time about her romance with Prince Harry.
I might want to go there.
Was surprising the way things change, but I still have this support system all around me and, of course, my boyfriend's support.
Really good to see how compatible they are.
Harry and Meghan...
Get ready, because this might just be the royal scandal no one saw coming. Whispers of Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew's secret connection are shaking the palace walls, and the receipts are starting to line up. From mysterious yacht trips to vanishing interviews, everything points to a story far more complicated than anyone imagined. Could Meghan's royal fairy tale have started long before she ever met Harry? Buckle up, because this tea is piping hot, so stay tuned till the very end for every shocking detail.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
A friend in July 2016. Although the pair's year-long relationship has come with backlash, the actress says she's able to tune it out. Quote, "We're two people who are really happy and in love," adding, "I'm still the same person that I am, and I've never defined myself by my relationship."
The Monday morning headlines say it all. Prince Andrew's attempt to explain his friendship with accused Jeffrey Epstein backfiring.
You've been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes.
The Duke of York generating...
You know what's wild? Meghan Markle's Hollywood glow-up is starting to dim, and fast. After being dropped by multiple major studios like HBO and Amazon, word is spreading that Meghan's reputation behind the scenes isn't exactly royal. Insiders say she's been called controlling, demanding, and impossible to please, leading to projects getting canned mid-production. And in true Meghan fashion, she's not taking it quietly. She's reportedly planning to sue the studios while launching a brand new podcast called M for Meghan, basically her own megaphone to spill her side of the story.
Prince Harry and bride-to-be Meghan Markle attended war memorial services today, with Meghan looking fetching in a chic black hat. Now, check out Prince William. You're getting sleepy. Sleepy.
Prince Andrew was born on February 19th, 1960, in the Belgium suite of Buckingham Palace to Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. You could say Andrew is a fringe royal, someone in the direct bloodline who will likely never have a...
And are you ready for this? She's naming names. Sources claim she's ready to call out former collaborators, producers, even executives who betrayed her. Some of her own team members, though, are quietly backing away. Apparently, this revenge strategy could backfire badly and torch whatever goodwill she has left in Hollywood. But if there's one thing we know about Meghan, it's that she doesn't back down. She's determined to rewrite her narrative, even if it means burning a few bridges to the ground. Meanwhile, Netflix is said to be growing uneasy about continuing her last remaining project, and brands are pulling back from partnerships as the controversy snowballs. Honestly, it's messy, it's bold, and it's giving I'll do it my way energy. And let's be real, if Hollywood loves anything, it's a comeback story. But this feels more like a slow-motion car crash everyone's watching unfold. And speaking of drama hiding in plain sight, remember that infamous royal moment? Meghan standing beside Queen Elizabeth, leaning towards Harry with that sweet smile and whispering, "Who's that next to your grandma?" Like what? You mean to tell me she didn't recognize Prince Andrew, the man who's been walking next to the Queen for decades, splashed across headlines his entire life? Please. Either she was clueless or she was playing dumb.
disgusting! Wait, I've done nothing wrong.
But between you and I, the receipts point to the latter, because this wasn't just one awkward exchange. This was years in the making. Years of private jets, conveniently erased interviews, and coincidences that start looking a little too coordinated. Long before the royal titles and global fame, Meghan was still hustling, just another ambitious actress in London plotting her next move. One journalist remembers meeting her on a freezing London night about 10 years ago. She wasn't the glamorous duchess we know now. She was quiet, thoughtful, strategic. They talked about her divorce, her love life, and then came the name drop, Ashley Cole, the footballer known for his messy reputation. But the second Meghan realized the journalist actually knew Ashley, her vibe shifted instantly. The flirty energy was gone, replaced by calculation. She wasn't chasing love, she was chasing connections. And once you see that side of her, you start realizing that every move, every smile, every headline might be part of a bigger plan. She wasn't lost in the royal spotlight, she was building her path straight toward it. And this next part sounds like a movie plot, except it's real life. Meghan always said she did a semester abroad in Argentina, right? Cute little detail for the resume. Makes her sound cultured and adventurous. But here's where things get weird. After Buenos Aires, she reportedly went straight to Spain. And yet no school records, no host family, no classmates who remember her. Just poof, like she vanished off the academic map. Even stranger, one university overseas bragged about hosting Meghan Markle, but Meghan herself never once mentioned it. Why would she skip that? Because that so-called study abroad trip might not have been about schoolwork at all. Sources, including a few of her old sorority sisters, claimed Meghan disappeared mid-semester, saying she was traveling with wealthy men in Thailand. And the name that kept coming up? Johan Elias. Now, he's not exactly a celebrity name, but in certain elite circles, everyone knows him. And Johan wasn't just rich. He was tight with Prince Andrew, like vacationing together tight. So let's connect those dots. Meghan, broke but ambitious, suddenly starts living it up on yachts across the Mediterranean in 2001. Elias starts showing up at sorority events back in the States. And Meghan's mysterious missing months abroad, they line up almost perfectly with Andrew's private travels that same year. Coincidence? That's a little too convenient if you ask me. 2012. And Meghan's career is finally picking up. Suits is gaining some traction. But somehow she's flying business class to Hong Kong. Why? Nobody knows. She's giving glossy interviews, rubbing shoulders with powerful players, and even dropping casual hints that royalty was around. But then that entire interview just vanished, scrubbed from the internet. And guess who else happened to be in Hong Kong that very same week? Yep, Prince Andrew. Now, no one's outright saying that they met, but no one's denying it either. And Meghan's silence about that trip? It's loud. You can practically hear the PR team holding their breath. And if you think that's wild, it gets even more interesting. Picture this, 2013, New York City. The Novak Djokovic Foundation Gala, a glittering invite-only event packed with royals and Hollywood elites. Goldie Hawn, Naomi Campbell, Anna Wintour, Prince Andrew, Fergie, Princess Eugenie, the works. And tucked somewhere in that diamond-studded crowd, Meghan Markle. No photos, no public listing, just quiet whispers she was there, like a ghost drifting through the room. How does a barely known TV actress land a spot at one of the most exclusive galas on the planet and somehow leave zero trace? Meanwhile, Andrew's supposed to be on an official trip to Asia, yet gets spotted in New York dining with Eugenie at that exact same time. Same city, same people, no media coverage whatsoever. Come on, that's not coincidence, that's choreography. If there's one place where all the threads of Meghan's story starts to weave together, it's Soho House. Now, this isn't just some swanky private club. It's the spot where the world's elite come to play. Royals, billionaires, influencers, you name it. Behind those velvet curtains, deals get made, reputations get built, and apparently, futures get planned. And guess who practically lived there? Yep, Meghan Markle. She was everywhere. London, Malibu, Istanbul, always at the right events, surrounded by the right people, yet somehow managing to stay under the radar. That's what made her so clever. She knew how to be seen without really being seen. And guess who else was part of that Soho crowd? Prince Andrew, Fergie, Princess Eugenie, and eventually Harry. Talk about networking goals. By 2015, Meghan attended the grand opening of Soho House, Istanbul. She even made it into the group photo with Eddie Redmayne, though the press didn't bother to name her. It's almost like she was meant to blend in, a familiar face no one looked at too closely. That invisibility wasn't accidental, it was strategy. Calculated, deliberate, and brilliant, until the day she didn't need to hide anymore. Because once you've got your connections in place, all that's left is for you to play your cards, and Meghan knew exactly when to lay hers down. Now here's where things get really jaw-dropping. Behind every door Meghan walked through, there seemed to be one shadow that followed her, Prince Andrew. Not always in the photo, not always in the headlines, but always close enough to raise eyebrows. Then there's Johan Elias again, the billionaire who traveled with Andrew to Thailand, and somehow also popped up at Meghan's college parties years before. Coincidence? We don't think so.
That's Prince Andrew. Well, barely. In 2019, he stepped down from his royal duties following renewed scrutiny of his ties to convicted Jeffrey Epstein and alleged Madam Ghislaine Maxwell. But as the Queen's third child, Andrew knew he was probably never going to be king anyway. He had all the status and limited responsibility, a position he's leveraged to date models, take luxury vacations, and gain access to power.
Johan was tied to the same high-flying social world connected to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous circles. The yachts, the charities, the global networking trips that were more than just cocktails and cameras. And Meghan, she slid right into that scene like she'd been born for it. Ambitious, gorgeous, and always 5 steps ahead. You can almost see her thinking, this is how I get there.
One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No. The problem was the fact that once he had been convicted,
you stayed with him.
I stayed with him, and that's the bit that as it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis, because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family, and we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down. Simple as that.
And then came the photo. Meghan on a yacht in the Mediterranean, lounging beside Karnia Shiliak, one of Epstein's former girlfriends, and spiritual guru Deepak Chopra. Yes, that Deepak. The same one who later helped her celebrate her 40th birthday by posting about female empowerment. The irony.
And people call you that phrase that they use too often, I think, it girl. Right. Do you like it or hate it?
Eva, you come to think that she's Eva, most definitely Eva.
And people call you that phrase that they use too often, I think, it girl. Right. Do you like it or hate it?
Eva, you come to think that she's Eva, most definitely Eva.
And people call you that phrase that they use too often, I think, it girl. Right. Do you like it or hate it?
Eva, you come to think that she's Eva, most definitely Eva.
Here's the real kicker. Deepak's name shows up in leaked documents linked to Epstein's secret charity network. Suddenly, Meghan's glamorous yacht life doesn't look so picture perfect. It looks questionable. Like, are we seeing a pattern here or what? And remember that famous Jamaica wedding? The one where Harry flew economy while Meghan arrived by private jet, courtesy of Soho House? Co-owner Ron Burkle. That wasn't just a power move, it was a statement. And whispers say the Yorks were there too, Eugenie, Fergie, and Andrew. Keeping out of sight, but very much present. No official photos, no confirmations, just murmurs in the background, like a royal secret everyone pretends not to know. By this point, Meghan wasn't stumbling her way into royalty. She was navigating it like a pro. Charming, strategic, and backed by people who knew how to open doors and keep the darkest secrets locked behind them. Next is where Meghan's story goes from mysterious to downright scandalous. Let's talk about Spain. The so-called study abroad chapter Meghan loves to mention but never really explains. She claims she studied at IE University for 3 months. No one remembers her, not a single classmate, not a host family, not even a stray photo from that time, just silence. It's like she vanished into thin air, and yet during that same period, Meghan reportedly told her sorority sisters that she was sailing around Europe, meeting powerful men and changing her life. Back then, everyone probably thought she was exaggerating. A little college fantasy moment. But now, that timeline lines up suspiciously well with Prince Andrew and Johann Elias's travel logs.
On that particular day, that we now understand is the date that is the 10th of March, I was at home, I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking for a party at, I suppose, sort of 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why do you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being at home?
Because going to a Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing for me to do. I've never been.
And just when you think it couldn't get messier, guess who else was yachting around Europe that same summer? Karnya Shuliak, one of Epstein's former girlfriends. There's even a photo floating around. Meghan, Panama hat on, lounging casually beside Karnya on a yacht. And it's not giving innocent vacation vibes. It's giving connections, exclusivity, and a peek into that ultra-private world where names get erased and stories are rewritten by the people who control the narrative. It's almost eerie when you realize how easily the dots connect once you start looking.
Andrew on Epstein's client list?
The material related to Prince Andrew has been made public.
Is Prince Andrew on the client list?
We have released the index of names that were in Jeffrey Epstein's.
Is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list?
The index has been released, and the index will speak for itself.
So I'm just going to say, America, there's a huge red flag. The FBI director could not answer whether Donald Trump was on Epstein's
Gentleman's time
client
has
list.
expired.
Closely. Now you step back for a second. Everywhere Meghan appeared before meeting Harry, from Hong Kong to New York to Istanbul, guess who always seemed to be around the corner? Prince Andrew or someone from his circle. And here's where it gets even more suspicious. Every interview that could have tied those appearances together has mysteriously vanished. Every person who might have confirmed the overlaps, silent. It's like someone scrubbed her history clean. Then years later she meets Harry, charming, polished, mysterious. And suddenly, she's the perfect humanitarian, the global citizen, far removed from royal drama. But in reality, Meghan had already been orbiting the royal bubble for years, not just through the usual front door. She got there through yachts, billionaire friends, and connections that never made the tabloids. So when you remember that infamous moment, her leaning in and asking Harry, "Who's that next to your grandma?" it suddenly feels less like an innocent question and more like a scripted moment, maybe even a little bit theatrical. Almost poetic, really. The very network that once tied her to Andrew's world is the same one that led her straight into the palace. You almost have to feel for Harry here. The poor guy truly believed he'd found his soulmate, someone untouched by royal chaos, someone genuine. But even after Megxit, the whispers never died down. Journalists are still piecing together travel logs, following money trails, chasing down people who remember details. But every time they get close, boom, accounts deleted, sources disappear, videos pulled offline. You can't wipe out that much coincidence without serious help, right? And even now, familiar names keep reappearing around Meghan, people from those same elite social circles, the ones that trace back to Andrew's world. The game didn't end when she married into royalty, it just changed location. Inside the palace, tension was brewing. Some insiders allegedly whispered that Meghan knew too much, and that her time in those exclusive networks gave her access to secrets best left buried, especially the ones involving Andrew, because if anyone ever proved that Meghan and Andrew's paths crossed before Harry came into the picture, the palace's carefully constructed fairy tale would come crashing down. So what did they do? They buried it, pretended it never happened. But let's be real, this is 2025. The internet never forgets, and neither do the receipts. Now here's where the story hits its peak, and honestly, it's the part that still gives people chills. Meghan Markle's transformation isn't just some Hollywood to royalty fairy tale. It's the ultimate reinvention. We're talking about a woman who went from being a quiet guest on someone's yacht to becoming one of the most talked about figures on the planet, from social climber to feminist icon. From standing on the edges of Andrew's world to holding hands with a prince, It's a full circle story straight out of a screenplay. But one big question still lingers. How much did she really know? Maybe that "who's that next to your grandma" moment, besides the Queen, wasn't clueless at all. Maybe it was her way of closing a chapter she'd already read long before the rest of us ever caught up.
Meghan Markle's hugging and cheek-kissing with Prince William fueled gossip among palace staff that she was flirting. Both Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have insisted that Prince William and his wife, the Princess of Wales, found the Duchess of Sussex's love of hugging jarring. Now, a new royal book appears to confirm these claims that the American former actress's tactile manner made the heir to the British throne uncomfortable.
Because behind the fairy tale smiles, the charity speeches, and all those perfectly curated media appearances, there's one thing Meghan's always been good at: strategy. She's never moved without a plan. Every step, every story, every public move seems calculated. Meghan Markle has always known how to stay 10 steps ahead. And Prince Andrew? He might have been the ghost in her story all along, the quiet shadow of the world she'd once moved in, and the one she spent years trying to leave behind. Even now, whispers about those lost years never really go away. Every few months, new photos pop up, old clips disappear, and suddenly her name is once again being linked to forgotten billionaires and royal acquaintances. Every time that happens, the internet loses its mind, and people start asking the same question all over again. What's the real story here? No matter how many layers of polish she adds, the past has a funny way of shimmering right beneath the surface, just waiting for the light to hit it again. And maybe that's Meghan's real magic trick. Not luck, not charm, but control. Control over her story, her image, and what the world gets to see. She turned rumors into headlines and headlines into history. And love her or hate her, you have to give her credit. No one, and I do mean no one, plays the long game quite like Meghan Markle. So maybe that quiet little question beside the Queen, "Who's that next to your grandma?" wasn't confusion at all. Maybe it was her way of saying goodbye to an old life, wrapping up a chapter that's still half hidden between palace walls and billionaire yachts. One story ended that day, sure. But if there's one thing we've learned about Meghan, it's that she's always already writing the next one. So what do you think? Was Meghan just playing the game, or did she rewrite it entirely? Whether this was a hidden alliance or a carefully buried chapter, one thing's for sure: the royal world will never look at her the same way again. The more we dig, the more puzzle pieces seem to fit. And trust me, this story is far from over. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay tuned for the next royal tea spill.